Floaters, you better grab a life vest because tonight is eviction number 3 of this season of Big Brother, and there's no one better to unpack it with me than alum and Big Brother fan favorite Rachel Reilly. Rachel, I'm so excited to get to speak with you.
Oh,
How
thank
are
you.
you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me. This is like seriously, I love talking Big Brother,
Yes.
and I'm just so excited to chat Big Brother with you.
Yeah,
I feel like
well,
you're a Big Brother expert too.
there you go. Well, listen, I have literally watched everything you've done on TV, so just getting to speak with you is really cool. So, before we get into the current season, let's talk about your time on Big Brother. So, you competed twice, one on your second try, but you also met your husband while you were on Big Brother. So, why don't you just kind of recap your Big Brother experience for our viewers?
Wow. So I was on season 12 of Big Brother, and that was the season that I met Brendan, my now husband. We've been married for 12 years. So we met in 2010. So 14 years ago, I met him. And our first season, we were on the block every other week. I was HOH every other week. Brendan was winning vetoes. So for us, it felt like it was a constant competition that we had to constantly be on. And then season 13, I went back in the house. We went back as a dynamic duo and we were able to win the entire game. Well, I won the game. Brendan was evicted first to jury, but I was able to win the game and we had a blast. And the rest is history, as they say.
And the rest is history. And I mean, you just have so many infamous moments. I mean, the floaters grabbing your life vest, for people that don't know, was a nod to you. That was one of your famous lines you said on your first season, and people still talk about it today. So, I mean, you've
Yeah.
definitely made your mark in kind of reality TV history, which is incredible. So, why don't you just tell our viewers what's life been like since you were on Big Brother? What have you been up to lately?
Yeah, life has been amazing since Big Brother. Brendan and I obviously got married. We did the Amazing Race together twice, and then I did the Amazing Race for a third time. We have done a million other television appearances. Brendan is actually now he's a professor, associate professor at UAB. And he's working. We're in Alabama now. And he's working full time doing that, being a scientist. I work in casting, which is really a lot of fun. So I work in reality unscripted casting. And I think that like Big Brother didn't just change the trajectory of my life, it changed like what I love, because now I love unscripted television so much that I just can't imagine not working in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I mean, it's just so fun. You meet so many different kinds of people. You see so many different things play out on all these different shows. I mean, it truly is the epitome of expecting the unexpected. Now, my final question, kind of about your time with reality TV and Big Brother, is who are you so close with or kind of keep up with from either the Big Brother world or your specific cast?
Everyone. No, actually, it's funny. I feel like at this point in the Big Brother universe, there's like two sides. There's like the Rachel, Janelle, Kaser. We hang out with like Matt Hoffman and Andrew Gordon and Portia. And then there's like the other Big Brother side. Like I feel like I tried to keep in touch with everyone. Like I'm definitely friendly with Taylor. Taylor Hale was one of the winners recently of Big Brother. I'm friends with Jag from Big Brother. So the winners we all kind of keep together, but I think that there's like two different like Big Brother like groups. They could do a rival season at this point.
Ooh, okay, Big Brother rivals, new idea. Maybe we'll see that next summer. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe that's Ainsley's next new twist, right? So,
Yeah.
okay, so let's get into this season. So, first things first, I have to know, what do you think of kind of the AI component and then also these like power-ups that obviously are coming into play this week?
Okay, so my initial impression of the AI component was that it's kind of gimmicky, but I will tell you this, I have fallen in love with it because I was like, I just didn't know how they would do it. And I feel like there's so many different directions they could go in because AI is getting so advanced these days. But I love everything about it. I think it's so much fun. The twists are epic. And as we saw on last night's show, oh my gosh, that was the best play of a Big Brother twist we have seen in such a long time. I feel like that was one of my favorite Big Brother episodes I've seen in like a few years, to be completely honest, because there was just so much going on and we got to see the twist being used and we had a veto and Tucker didn't use the veto on Angela. What was that about? Or I mean, he didn't use it on himself. He used it on Angela. What was that about? Like, just so many different things. This is what you want in Big Brother. This is everything I could possibly dream of Big Brother. And I think that that is partly because of the twist and partly because of Ainsley, because it's put the idea of nobody knows, expect the unexpected into the house guest's head.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more with all of that. And just so people know out there, kind of what's happened this week is that it was Kenny, Angela, and Tucker put on the block. Tucker won the veto. Tucker decided to save Angela instead of himself. Then Cedric renommed Mackenzie, and then Mackenzie whipped out America's veto, which was one of the power-ups. So now she's safe, and now America has to vote, and tonight we'll find out who that third nominee is that will potentially go home. This is so exciting, and it's really interesting because I think you hit it so well because my one of my best friends and I watch the show, and we text, throughout this season, and him and I were saying like the season's it's been exciting but a little stale because it's just like we're targeting the same people, and what Tucker did shook things up so hard, and like we're kind of left with no option but to stand Tucker. You know what I mean?
My God, I like love Tucker so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I'm
Yeah,
obsessed with him now.
obsessed. Yeah, and there's a little showmance going on with him and Rabina
I
too.
saw
So
that on Twitter, and I'm excited to see if they'll show
yeah,
us that tonight at all.
I
Yes,
hope
I'm very, very
so.
excited. Yes, yes. Okay, so I'm also curious. So, obviously Mackenzie was the replacement nominee before she used her veto. Do you think, Cedric definitely did it because he knew. So do you think that Mackenzie should have kept that more to herself, or do you think it was fine that because she kind of like, she acted like she was going to keep it herself, and then like over time, she kind of spread it to almost everyone. So it's kind of a weird move in my opinion.
It was a really weird move, but I liked that she did tell Cedric to build trust with him. And I liked that he used it on this veto to build the chaos that we are seeing tonight. But I feel like if it was me, I would have kept it to myself. But I know when you're living in that house, it's hard to keep anything to yourself because you have nothing to do but talk. Like you have nothing to do but time, and when you're bored, you're just talking about everything, and holding a secret is just so hard in that house.
I'm pretty sure I would get eliminated first because I would spill everything I know so quick. Like, I don't know how people keep it to themselves. That would definitely be the hardest part. Now, the other side of this that's kind of also we've seen play into a lot of this week's kind of moves and big plays is that Quinn has the other power up, which is almost a bigger deal than what Mackenzie just
Yeah.
did because he basically has the ability to come in and completely change someone's HOH. And that's what Tucker wanted Cedric to do. So I have a two-part question for you. So do you think that, like, what do you think of Quinn's game, I guess, more so? And then also, do you feel like Cedric should have put up Quinn over Mackenzie, or do you think he might made the right decision in picking Mackenzie as the nom?
Okay. I think so. Quinn's game, I think, is a little bit messy. We have seen him targeting different people for like kind of no reason. And when he spills the beans about things, he's not like spilling the beans about things that people didn't already know. And he seems to like cause unnecessary drama. He's been a little bit messy, which I usually love a Big Brother messy player, but I feel like he's like doing too much. Especially with all that drama with the Angela that we saw last week. I felt like that was like totally uncalled for. I think I don't know what he was doing for that in that situation, but I didn't like it. So I do think his game is definitely messy. Um, However, I do think Cedric using Mackenzie's power with this veto was the smarter move for his HOH, because if he used Quinn, we don't really know how Quinn's power works. It sounds like Quinn can pull his power out at a nomination ceremony versus a veto ceremony. So I'm wondering if he could even use it, if he would have used it at the renom. We just don't know because we don't know the rules, right? They weren't explained to us. So I wonder if it would have even mattered, but I think Cedric using Mackenzie's power and flushing that power was a really great move for him, for the Pentagon, for all of Cedric's other alliances. And I thought that I really liked that he did it instead of Quinn, especially because Tucker wanted Quinn. And I like that he kind of said to Tucker, like, sorry, bro, this is my HOH. Like, I got to play my own game. And he's 21. So for me, I'm just like really loving watching him as a player. And I think he's such an interesting player.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and they're all just like It's funny because like all been playing so nice, but they're also you can all like playing their own individual games as well at this point, and this is like really where we're starting to see things heated up, which I am just loving. Now,
Yes.
obviously, you know America's going to vote someone, and they'll be put on the block tonight. I'm curious, who do you feel like, or maybe who are you hoping should be that third nominee?
So I actually I voted 10 times for Brooklyn. Only because I don't think Brooklyn's doing anything right now to really move the game along. And you know what I always say, floaters can grab a life vest. So maybe this is Brooklyn's time to grab a life vest. This is maybe will be her like moment if she gets put up that she's like, oh, I need to like do something. Um, but I think that Facebook and Twitter look like, or X, Facebook and X look like they are going to be nominating Quinn. Whereas I've also seen on TikTok and I've seen on some Instagram there, people are saying Cam. So I don't think it's going to be Cam, but I have seen his name come up. So Tucker to win in this situation. They don't want it to be what Tucker wants. What Tucker wants is Quinn. But I've seen everyone, the majority of things I've read has been Quinn. So we'll see what happens.
Well, full disclaimer, I voted this morning, and I voted for Quinn.
Ah!
So I guess we'll see. I just am like, I don't know. It kind of be interesting to see him on the block. It would be interesting to see him and
Yeah.
Tucker up there and dueling out. I don't know. But the Cam thing is also really funny because I saw a lot of comments being like, I think Cam's on the wrong show. I think he thinks he's on Love Island when this is really Big Brother. So I'm like, well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So, all right, a few more questions for you. So one of the big things they point out in some of the episodes this week is what I call fickle Kenny. So Kenny is so unsure where he wants to be at what times. What do you kind of think of the like just extreme back and forth of I really want this, I want to win these competitions, then also I just want to go home to my wife and kids?
I'm like not into it because people work really hard to get on Big Brother. And I know I work in casting. And so, like, we see so many applications and so many people that this is their dream. This is what they want to do. Like, yeah, we get it. It's hard. Big Brother is really difficult. You're in a constant pressure cooker. You're competing for your life every second. And he's in there with people that are a lot younger than him. So he really hasn't built any bonds. And I totally see that. However, that's also his fault because Angela, as crazy as she is, has been able to build a lot of strong bonds in that house. And she should have been gone week one. And she was, I mean, she was HOH, but you know what I mean? Like causing problems. So she should have gone home last week. She could have gone home this week, but it seems like she's going to be there for a lot longer because the house really is becoming like, I think that they like her. Like she's forming relationships with people. Kenny, like, again, we get it. It's hard, but you're on Big Brother. What did you think? You thought a $750,000 walk in the park? Like, no.
Yeah, yeah. I think he just needs to get his stuff together. And the thing is, I feel like if he would just play the game, he'd actually kind of be an interesting player, but we just haven't
Right.
seen that yet because he's not in it.
No.
Now, you just mentioned her. She is all the talk this season, Miss Angela. Here's the thing. I kind of am a fan. I think she's so whack, but I'm kind of about it. And also, I'm sure you've seen this as well on social media. People are convinced that she's a producer plant. And I'm curious kind of your thoughts on that because I'm like, come on.
No, I don't think she's a producer plant, but I think it's funny. So I did contribute to the conspiracies. I made a TikTok video that went viral about it. And so I was just like, because on TMZ, they interviewed her real estate company and her real estate broker or whatever was like, oh, well, Angela is putting on a part and she is playing a villain and this isn't real. So that just compounds this like conspiracy. Like for sure, she's not a producer plant. And if you want to say anyone, they're all producer plants because they're all chosen, right? You know, it's a casting situation. But I do love that she is just a little crazy. She's a little wacky. At first I was like a little annoyed with it, but then she has calmed down. She fights with everyone, but you know what? It's Big Brother, and I get it. Like,
I kind of love that she fights with everyone. I
yeah,
don't know. It's
yeah,
interesting every episode. I'm
yeah.
like,
It's
what
very
fights are going to be
interesting.
now? Yeah,
I know.
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, my final question for you. And I asked Julie this the same question a few weeks ago towards the end of week one. So who do you feel right now is playing the strongest game, maybe even like the most potential to win? I know it's early. And who do you think like has some work to do?
I think Chelsea's playing a really good game because everyone likes her. She's in a lot of alliances. She was able to have an HOH that wasn't it didn't really matter. It kind of didn't like put any extra blood on her hands. I think that Lisa going home, she could always say was the house, but nobody really was like upset about it. So I think that that was a good HOH for her. I think people really like her, and I think we've seen she can win competitions. We've seen that she can play a social game. We'll see what happens with this little Cam showmance of hers or the no mance. I don't know, the Cam no mance. But I think she's playing a great game. I really love Tucker. He's my favorite to watch. But I don't think he's playing a really good game. But maybe he'll get to play a better game. Like, I want to see Tucker at the end because I love watching him. But I'm just not sure that he's playing a smart game because it is a marathon and not a sprint. And then I think there's like, people in the house like Chemo or Brooklyn who are just kind of like hanging out, chilling. Maybe we want to call them floaters. And I love Chemo, but like, I just want to see them do a little bit more. I just don't feel like they're really doing anything to push the game forward. They're not really in any alliance. They kind of have their own alliance, but like, it's just like they're kind of the hangout club, right? And this isn't a hangout club of Big Brother. So I see them maybe making it to jury. But yeah, I think Chelsea is playing a great game. Cam is playing a good game. It's just that like he hasn't really done a lot. So it's hard to argue at the end when you get to the end if you haven't played the whole game.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to play a strong game and you have to have moves of your own, right? You don't want to just
Yeah.
like say, oh, I did this with an alliance all season. That's so boring.
Right,
So,
exactly.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. This has been a pleasure. If people want to keep up with you and everything you've got going on in your life, how can they keep up with you?
Yeah, so I'm on TikTok at Rachel E. Reilly, and Rachel Riley Viegas on TikTok. I am at Rachel E. Reilly Viegas on Instagram, and on X, I'm Rachel E. Reilly on Facebook. I'm all over social media.
All the things you can stay connected. Yes, well, that's incredible. All right, Rachel. Well, I guess we'll have to see who gets evicted tonight, see how it all plays out. But again, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for taking the time to speak with me.
Of course, thank you for having me. This is so fun.